Alright, how to change the air filters on a 2017 Aston Martin DB11 V12. So instead of making you guys suffer through watching my idiocracy trying to figure out how in the world they came apart, I sort of figured it out. I put it back together, and now we'll do it together so that you can see how it goes. These two 10mm bolts and the nuts up front, take them out, loosen them, set them someplace safe, whatever you deem safe. This fancy little piece right up in here, it's in multiple pieces. There's a little fir tree that anchors it in there, and another one over here, or you can just lift all of that out, but it comes off in 3 little pieces or more, because we got to take the other side off too. So there we are. Set those aside. Disconnect this mass airflow sensor connector. Usually easier. Push down on it. Push the little middle button in, and then it will come up. Unscrew one each flat screw, and that will come loose. And I am going to take this spring clamp off of whatever in the world kind of a air pump this is. Probably for some environmental thing. Take that loose. Get it free so that it will come off. Oh, goodness. And of course, because I'm recording, it's going to be mean. Leave all the comments you want for improper use of hand tools. I can take it. I get paid $200 an hour to do other shit, not be a mechanic. Alright, and this box, just lift it up. It comes right out. Boom. It is held in place. You may see these 2 little knobbers on the bottom. They sit into here. So really, once you undo those 2 10mm nuts up top, get this foamy stuff off the top, get that hose disconnected, loosen, disconnect the mass airflow sensor and the little worm clamp holding it down. It'll come off. There's a little more to do on the other side because it's got some of these nice little connections for routing some of this tubing on it. So we'll move over to that side. Be right back with you. All right, passenger side for those of us in the U.S. Sorry, driver's side for those of us in the U.S. Passenger side for our British friends. Okay, just a couple little clips right here holding this, I don't know, probably overflow air, whatever it is, going to from the radiator to the top of the water pump. So we definitely don't want to definitely want to leave it connected, but pretty much the same as the other side. Mass airflow sensor. Push the connector down, push that tab in, and wiggle that little fella off. Spring clip, same thing. Some little air pump, which I'm sure is probably emissions related, and it really was want to mock me. So luckily on it, this car's not that old, so these ain't like, they're not absolutely dry rotten. There you are. Come on, come on, you go, girl. Oh, one more worm clamp screw for the mass airflow sensor. 2 10mm nuts up front. trusted assistant. Get this fella off. Some sticky tape, whatever. There you are. I'm gonna leave you down there. That comes off fairly simply. And we're gonna get this one off. Got the front off. All right, now get her to come up, and then she will come forward. All right, there you are. Mass airflow duct is, these aren't, oh no, there we are. One more of these little, this fella down here, there it is. I think that is all of the hoses, and there you are. Snake this little air pump hose out of here. Pull it out. Oop, look, there's some sand. Now, how in the world do I get this out? Well, there's a screw. There's a screw. There's a screw. There's a screw. One. Another one. All right, so get these little screws off, and then we'll get the air filter out of here, and we'll be right back with you. All right, there you have it with the magic of the pause button. We rapidly remove these 2, 4, 6, 8mm screws from the air box, and boom, air filter. There it is. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Here we are. New Scuderia air filter. So that one doesn't look bad. She's not a spring chicken. She could be original. I don't know. But we got a little bit of dirt in there. We don't need to reintroduce that. Could have done a better job of that. There we are. She's all cleaned out now. It's perfectly situated in her new home. Happy. And get that one backed out. Flipped around. Wham. Bam. There it is. I don't think you guys need to watch me put screws in, so we're going to hit the pause button real quick. Be right back. Okay, so real quick, alignment. The way I tried to just initially shove it in there was not really happy, so get these in first. Well, fellas, get that in, and boom. Now we can come in. Oh, she slid out. You little sucker. So it's just a matter of messing around with it. We'll get it. It's gonna be a whole lot easier with 2 hands. It was much easier with 2 hands. All right, you get the idea. I'm gonna go back with 2 hands and finish it. All right, the air filters are in. It was a little bit trickier, mostly just because that new new seal on top is just really dense. It's really dense stuff, so it doesn't like to compress. So, getting these tabs lined up and in were challenging. So it took a few iterations of messing with this, and it takes a little bit of work to get that just sat in right. Something to be absolutely careful of, though, is these 6 bolts along here. You kind of use it to help the last. But when you're tightening these, I mean, once these two pieces of plastic are mated together, it won't get any closer. So stop freaking turning, or you're gonna go from Guten tight to Guten stripped. So, and you really don't want to strip those out. So that is, I would probably say that's the biggest challenge in that, taking some time on that. All right, now, as we attempt to thread this mamma jamma back up in here, here we are, Mr. Air hose thingy. Environmental, I'm sure. So here we go. This. Now, thank God this thing's really. Ah, shoot! I just noticed something. I just noticed this stupid spring clamp is slid like all the way down to the bottom. Very challenging to get a pair of pliers on this, so come back upstairs, come back up top. Alright, right there, just hang out right there. I looked at the drive belt. The drive belt looks good. It's got no cracks, nothing in it, so I did consider, let me pull that centerpiece off. I considered replacing it as well. So once again, you just not sure if you can see like that little fella. Got to get those little guys, those little feet to go in those little places right there. That's it. Come on. Let's go, Betty. Oh, Black Betty, bam, oh, Black Betty, bam. Betty had a child, the damn thing gone wild. Right, come here, now we gotta get these little fellas lined back up. Alright, let's see if we can feel under here. Yep. Those two little feet are in their home. Here we are. The inlet hose is connected. Just got to do the V-band, or the worm. A little worm drive clamp there. Connect that fella. Okay, connect these fellas. Hello. That one. Oh, there was one underneath here. Yep. That one. This on. I would hope if I showed it. There it is. Clamp back. Put you on. Alright. Now we just gotta. Ooh. Don't need to light. Just gotta get this little guy lined up. Come on. We got one. We got one. Let's get the other. Doggone. Yeah, everything's easier with two hands. There we are. Thank you. So, one nut. Two nuts. I think everybody knows how to put nuts on, so we'll just leave that. Get that here. See this little fella. I'm gonna say right there, but I'm gonna have to move him back out of the way to get the other side, so we will just leave these little plastic pieces for last and move to the other side. Alright, one more to go. least that spring clamp's holding. Once again, those little holes where those feet on the bottom of the air box fit into. So just kind of snake your hose around first. Once you get that through there, she kind of fits in nice. Semi get your inlet connected here so that she's at least going in the right direction and not binding you up. And then it's just a matter of finding those feet down there and getting them to fit in. Once they do, here, let's see, can I get that going? A bit of a pain, I will say that. I mean, it may not be as big a pain to get those in when you're using two hands. One-handed, yeah. One-handed, it takes a smidge. So, switching camera, guys. See? So much quicker with two hands. Everything's quicker with two hands. Alright, MAF sensor, front mounts. Come on. Oh, it came out of our holes. Come here. There you are. There it is. Maybe it's easier to put the two holes in front, put the two studs in the front. You know, you live and learn. That's why we do this. It's the first time around. We figure it out. That's why we do this. First time's always harder. Second time's always faster. You're like, oh no, I need to do this, not that. Oh, let me do it in this order, not that order. It's amazing how that works. So, once again, just snug these down. There's no need to smoke it down, kill it. It's just holding the airbox in place. Just make sure you hook everything back up and you'll be good. I mean, generally, you'll figure it out if you do it wrong. Hook something up, forget to hook something up, especially with the air. It'll get mad, it'll run bad, throwing codes at you. Tighten up the screw clamp, worm gear thingy, whatever, screw clamp, worm clamp. Is it warm or is it warm? I don't know. Freaking English. Alright, this little guy just fits right on top of those studs. And this fella goes back down in its place. Super easy. These little fir trees just fit back into the holes. And easy peasy. There we are. Almost done. Alright, that's it. This last little guy right here. And your There they are. Maybe you get some two-sided tape to stick back under there. I mean, I can get two-sided tape anytime. I don't have any right now, but maybe I'll get some two-sided tape later on, put underneath there, hold that back in place firmly. But you know, you close the hood, and it ain't going nowhere. So there you are. Now your DB11 has fresh air filters. Not terribly hard. Probably a whole lot easier than that Vantage outside. So let me know what you think.